everyone. Welcome to Title the Podcast with Joe.
And Joe. Welcome
We're back.
So this is what, episode five? Oh my god, we really can't count.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 5, and we're joined again with our lovely friends Andrea and Steph.
Hello, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Hi, and our popcorn bowl. Guys, mamaya na kain. So if you've been listening to our podcast, which we're very thankful that you are.
Hi to our 9 listeners,
9
subscribers.
Wala rin sabihin ko. Last week we talked about toxic workplaces. When work becomes toxic.
Yeah.
So one of the things we touched on briefly were, some of the characters that make the workplace toxic, but we didn't really go into details kung sino ba sila. Kasi last week we talked about what makes a workplace toxic, what do you do. So today we want to talk about the individuals that actually make the workplace toxic.
Hi.
Ayun. So ako. Joke.
Hindi ako.
Hindi. Ako yung not making it toxic. Ako po yung bida, guys. Okay, so who wants to start? Ayan na. Sino may example of somebody, and not like a specific person, but like a type of character, a type of coworker, or a type of manager, leader, boss, whatever, that you've worked with or that you know of that have made the workplace toxic? And what were they doing that made it toxic?
I can start.
Okay, go.
I would say co-workers who absolutely do not want to learn anything. That becomes toxic because they always ask for things that, it gets distracting for other people. Because they don't want to learn the same thing over and over and over. Do you agree, guys?
Oh, absolutely. Like someone who's not really open to learning, or who don't do their job properly. Who can
Both. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've seen that in the workplace before where initially they make it an excuse to ask you for help because they don't know how to do it now. So sure, you help them. And then you start to see the pattern that they just clearly never want to do it. And so they never learn it. Whether it's a new program or a new skill or a new reporting type, a new template or whatever. They're always like, ikaw na, hindi ko kasi alam paano gawin yan eh.
Not just that, when they've been provided with trainings over and over,
Right.
they still don't get it. Not just trainings, like materials. But do you guys even read it?
Yeah.
The resources are provided for them, and yet you can't. The metrics are saying that they're not getting the content.
Yeah, and they would say pa na, I wasn't trained for this. Nobody taught me this. Like, are you serious right now?
I'm like, you are though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But can I add to that, because I've seen it where I've been in your position before, where I've seen like people are not really interested in learning, so they don't put the effort into it, and then there's still a gap there, and then after many days or weeks of training, and they're obviously not putting effort because they're just disinterested. So I've been on the receiving end of that, but also I can't help but think, me moving into my current role, it's been like a year and a half with me in that role. Sometimes I still don't get certain things, and I do feel like I am learning, but am I guilty of this? Not being able to use the resources that's been provided for me. Sometimes I can't help but think, like, I hope those who are training me don't feel that way about me, because sometimes I do get a bit of I get a sense that they probably feel like, because they would say, well, did you read this? Did you read that with me? I'm like, I did. Well, that's why I'm asking you. Also, I think it also comes with me not wanting to make a mistake, and I get I don't think they give me enough the space to make mistakes. That's why I'd rather run it by you to tell me if I'm doing it wrong now. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
yeah. So I feel like I'm in that boat now where I feel like I'm probably.
But you were willing to learn.
Oh, I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
And I've asked for extra resources too. Like, can I take
That's
this
fine.
in-depth course because I feel like I'm still lacking in being able to make good decision on this area or whatever. But yeah, I do feel like I'm struggling. So I'm just letting you know that I'm probably one of those people that you're single.
I don't think you are.
I don't think so too.
Yeah, like I
No,
think for me, you can tell the intent of somebody.
Yeah.
To an extent, right? To an extent, obviously we can't read minds yet. But there's a level of somebody coming to you being like, hey, I've read the manual, I've done this, I'm not sure if this is the right call. Can you just quickly look it over to see if, this makes sense?
Yeah.
Versus somebody who's like, you know what, I still can't believe we made the changes kasi can you just do this? Kasi I really can't understand it. Diba, parang there's a big difference between somebody who's like, clearly it's been a couple of months and you just don't want to learn this. And so you're passing this off to somebody else.
Okay.
Whereas for you, it's from what it sounds like, I've understood it. I know how to do it. At least I think I know. But it's just given the culture of the team or given the stakes that are involved with the decisions that you're making, you're like, I'd rather have it run by somebody so then somebody else can look it over to just double check. So you've done the work. Somebody just has to double check. You just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, probably. But I can see like me, like for instance, if I were working with Joe, and then she kind of be like, okay, you're on your own after trading, for instance, and I learn what I learned. I feel like because I know Joe, I think she'll just let me be and let me spread my wings, and then if I make a mistake, I make a mistake.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not really given that right now, like where it's not like obviously I appreciate feedback, all that, but then I just feel like it's they're such perfectionists, whereas I'm coming from a place of if the roles were reversed, I would let them make the mistakes. It's not a big deal. Like a mistake is a mistake. That's where you learn the most. That's
exactly.
happens the most, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm afraid. Like I hate being that kind of learner, quote unquote learner, where I feel like I'm always relying on someone, and hopefully it doesn't come off as someone who's not willing to learn or who's like not kind of who seems incompetent, but really it's just more them. I don't feel like there's trust with me making mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going off tangent here, but I just feel like, oh no, when you describe that, I'm like, I feel like you're
Is that
describing
me? Am I the drama?
Am
Am I the problem?
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh. Yeah. So just letting you know that hopefully those learners are just like probably not thinking the same thing as me. But I see what you're saying.
I don't think you're one of them. Because I know these people.
And you're not describing them?
Specific people.
It's
complete
very
180.
Because honestly, like what Joe said,
yeah.
sometimes they end up not doing the job. And it
Right.
falls to another person to finish it. Which is so unfair, right?
And is it fair to say that that person who refuses to learn the trainings gets paid more than the person who will
Exactly.
do it?
Exactly. Because they've been there for the longest time.
So
Oh, I
Or
see
got
what you're
tenure,
saying.
yeah.
So they pass it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really tough.
I see.
Yeah,
It
so
sounds
that's
like Andrea, you've
toxic.
encountered the same kind of toxic
Oh,
people at work.
I may be young, but I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah. You see what I like. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things in my life.
I've encountered them all.
Yeah.
But not just that. These people are the ones getting all the help.
Yeah.
Right.
Extra
I see.
help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Extra
Yeah.
help. But then
Oh, man.
when
Yeah.
they've been asked for help, they're like, not my job.
Oh my goodness. I've seen that.
Not my
Yeah.
job. Not my job.
That's so
Right.
interesting.
So yes. Toxic? Yes, very much so.
So the toxic unlearners.
Mm.
Or
Or
they're
the-
just like very entitled. Like
Very entitled.
they want all the help, but then they're
Yeah.
not gonna
Right.
reciprocate. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's one kind of toxic coworker.
Uh-huh.
Anyone?
I can go next. So for my example, there's a few examples, but I'll stick with this one.
One lang kasi 1 hour lang
Yeah,
episode.
So my example is a toxic coworker, someone who lacks empathy.
Oh.
Mm.
So my example is, I used to have a coworker back in the day. He in person he's okay, pleasant at most. Like we would have banters, but in email he's cutthroat. My role is very external facing. It's very like customer service type, internal and external. So I would get emails from him about like, Andrea, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. But for me, the last straw was he wrote a whole email about the lack of quality of work that I had, and basically copied every leader within the departments.
Oh my god!
And I think I was so pissed. I replied all and basically like replied with like, so what do you want me to do with it? Like, not in that verbatim per se, but it's more of like, okay, so what's the action plan for us to action on it? Because clearly he was saying that I didn't do the job, but if you look at the bigger picture, it's like, well, the vendor did. The example was, I ordered a bunch of strawberries. You know how strawberries are, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, from the farm all the way to the warehouse, it might be good. But from the warehouse into the
Individual stores.
into your warehouse, it can go bad. So that's what happened. When it came into our warehouse, the strawberries were bad. And then because of that, it impacted production. So I guess maybe he was going through a lot of, the whole entire team was going through a lot of frustration towards him. So he projected that frustration towards me in an email and copied everyone. So, and he's really difficult to work with because I don't think he understood my job.
Right.
A lot of what is happening is not really under my control. So I left that job, and for many years, he's tried to apply it in our team, basically to do my job, right? And finally, because, to avoid politics, the manager in that team allowed him to be part of the team, basically essentially do what I was doing, after I've left many years. Lo and behold, he did not do a really good job.
Of course not.
He understood the amount of pressure that we have to go through behind the scenes for things to work out well. And I think eventually his contract was not renewed, and then he was let go. Right? So a toxic coworker would be someone who's like, they only see you in a certain angle, right? And they never really dare to ask, hey, like, what are the gaps, right? And sometimes things don't things don't work well as planned, but never dare to ask me, hey, Andrea, like, walk me through what happened and in what ways can we improve it. Instead, he just like projected it as Andrea's a failure. Andrea did not do her job well, and never asked me like really for the whole picture.
Right.
And then when he himself was put into my shoes, he realized that he couldn't even do the job himself successfully, right? So in a way, like I'm glad he finally got to be part of the team, but I'm also glad that he failed.
Karma of the universe.
Yeah.
I think it's really important when you work with other people. For me, some people say that empathy is like a weakness, but
No.
when you've done those like tests at work, and we do a lot of that at work. What's your personality? How do you like? What's your working style? At first, one of the first tests I've done was, oh yeah, your greatest strength, Andrea, is empathy. And then you look into it, it's like, oh really? I don't know. Like you're like, oh, why can't it be like, I don't know, like
strategic thinking.
Strategic thinking, authoritative,
Leadership.
empathy. Like over time, I realized, oh, that's really important in the workplace. Knowing and understanding and putting yourself in someone's shoes, so that you could understand how they lead, how they work, but also like understand where you're coming from as well, and how to approach them and vice versa. So
That's good.
screw people who don't have empathy.
Yes.
I don't know if it's For me, like, he lacks empathy, sure, but also professionalism. I don't know if I would have sent an email and CC'd everyone out.
Yeah.
Some people does that though.
Some people do that,
But
yeah.
maybe also he just lacks, like, he doesn't know etiquette in terms of, like,
I think that too.
He doesn't realize you don't put people on blast in CC. I don't know what his main objective or motivation or whatever.
I think he was trying to either he was trying to get you in trouble, or he was trying to put a spotlight on himself that he caught the problem.
Yeah.
It's just odd.
And it's a problem that I didn't even cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Strawberries can go bad easily in general. Like when you buy from the grocery store and going back home, it just goes. I mean, that's just biologically how they are.
Yeah.
It's fresh produce, guys.
It's a living thing. It's physical.
And then I just think it's a bit silly because I know those who are sensitive are like, well, strawberries can go bad easily. I mean,
exactly.
It's something that, it's not within your control, right?
It's not
for
within my
him,
control.
it makes him look, I think, in my opinion. If I were to receive that, I'm like, what's the big deal here?
I know.
I would have been like, too long, did not read. Archived.
that too.
Return to sender.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I think you're right. Coworkers who lack empathy are so toxic because it breeds other kinds of issues.
Mm-hmm.
You get coworkers that are like, like what you're saying, Steph, right? They don't understand protocol. They don't understand business etiquette.
Yeah.
Because how could they if all they're able to think about is themselves? If they can't put
Absolutely.
themselves in the shoes of the people in the other teams to be like, what could they be dealing with? Or like, what would management be thinking if I send this out?
Yeah.
Or what would all the other teams be thinking? They can't think that far. They're only seeing themselves. And so with somebody without empathy, this could breed entitlement.
Yes.
This could, breed like more gossip and more backstabbing and all these other things because they don't see how they're causing issues for other people.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. And again, I'm going to emphasize, people think that empathy is a weakness. And it's it's not a strength that people want to have because when you work in an environment where it's like a crab mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like you always need to have that wall. You always need to be, and as someone who's a woman and a person of color, I always feel the need to be like, I need to be more authoritative. I need to be more extroverted. I need to freaking watch hockey and any sports just so I can ride along with, men who talks about sports first 2 minutes of the meeting kind of thing.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there's so much more I need to exert so that I feel I can feel included at work.
Yeah. Fit in somehow, right?
Yeah.
For sure. But I would say though, there's more recent surveys that says that what most employees look for in a leader is
Empathy, yeah.
Do you believe that? So I don't know whether or not they think they should have empathy, but they think the leader should have empathy. Isn't that so funny? But that's what they would like to see in a leader is empathy. Because everyone is so self-absorbed in their own world. So when it comes to a leader, they want to make sure that's me. Hopefully they can understand, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, but it's the other way around. I don't know if they themselves have empathy, but they want to be understood somehow by their leader. Isn't that interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting.
So it's not weakness; it's something that they hope to see in all leaders. It's empathy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's an interesting survey.
Yeah.
I wonder if they themselves would identify that as a strength for themselves.
Yeah.
But that's a good strength to have, I would say.
I
think
agree.
so, too,
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the unlearners. We have the people that lack empathy.
Yes.
You.
For me, I would say I don't know how we would describe this. Someone who is. Oh my goodness, I have so many different stories.
Again, like what I told Andrea, this is an hour episode.
Okay, fine.
Maybe we'll have to do a part 2.
I would say maybe like how would you describe this? Like someone who all the rules apply to everyone except them. What would you say?
Entitled.
Entitled? Yeah, okay, sure. Is this entitlement? Yes, that's
Yes.
entitlement. Like where they themselves will come up with the rules, but then they are the exception to the rule. Does that make sense?
Well, wait. What kind of rule?
Okay, so for instance, I would say, and this person even reported to me before. I'm like, The audacity.
the audacity.
The audacity.
That's
Oh,
sarcastic.
yeah. Like, for instance, let's say breaks, for instance, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not very hard on breaks when it comes to people taking their breaks. Everyone's entitled to their breaks. How they take it, yeah, sometimes people do abuse it, but like let's not make it too much of a pattern, right? Especially if you're falling behind work or whatever. So I trust people when they have a light workload. When they go on breaks, you do your thing. That's something that, like, a gift, I would say, for people, right? To kind of balance everything.
And you trust people as adults.
I trust.
To be like,
They're adults. Everyone's adult. Everyone's a professional. It's how I treat everyone. But for instance, like, let's say a senior member, senior employee, okay, says like, no, she's very black and white. So very black and white, meaning like rule says 30-minute coffee. So everyone should come back for a minute. So she writes everyone's coffee breaks on the whiteboard, for instance, okay?
Oh my god.
And then if they're past the 30 minutes, she brings it to my attention. So it's all came back late. I mean, thank you for letting me know.
What's her position though?
Her position, she's a senior member. So she has a title of a senior.
Something like a senior associate or like a
yeah.
lead, a
She's a
team
lead.
lead.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
so
is she?
But she's below you.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so she is like kind of like
She's below you. Period.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me say something
Yes.
about that.
Okay.
Because recently we had a discussion about those breaks. Like, it's almost similar.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But you know what? The manager said, on what kind of law
Yeah.
does it say it, like, you have to be here
Yeah.
this time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Plus, if you're gonna put all those rules,
Yeah.
your rules doesn't apply to everybody because let's say upper management is different. You're not the same level.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that, like, it can apply to you and maybe people under you, but you're in a different level of management.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that
my gosh, yeah.
why would you even have
Yes.
that hoop?
Yeah, so for instance, like, so she would say she's very like so hard on everyone who's not. And then, for instance, for me, I'm like, let's say I'm meetings all day, so my schedule looks a bit different, and she thinks it should apply to me too. And I'm like, excuse me? I was like so taken aback by that. But then the rule doesn't apply to her. She takes long breaks. Isn't that so funny? I was like, so you're the author of this rule? It applies to everyone, even me, but not you.
Did
like,
you ever
how-
call her out on her?
Oh, yes. Yeah. It was a big-
having extended.
Yeah, I was like, we are not a part of this. Like, leave us out of this. Like, we're doing a different line of work here.
Yeah.
Like, we have a different workload. We're involved in different things, and sometimes we don't even go on breaks. For
Like,
goodness
I don't
sake.
even
Yeah,
report
so
to you,
busy.
so why would
Yes.
you check me for breaks?
Yeah, so I have no idea. So, like you said, like going back to what Andrea said, sometimes these types of people project on you, right? When
Yeah.
they feel like they need to control something,
Yeah.
and they feel like they're losing control, that's what they do. They kind of try to figure out how to control things, right? And take it out on certain people.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this person always do they have other people reporting to them before they had this role? Or they've always been in this role for a long time?
They've been in this role for a long time, so they like the idea of power,
Got it.
right? So, and a lot of people came and reported to me like how they felt like it was unfair,
Yeah.
like that she takes long breaks and then yet she's so hard on them
Yeah.
and reports them to me, and they're late. So I understand both. So obviously, I'm not gonna tell. They come all to me complaining about each other, and I'm just like, that's nice. And then she
Thanks for
complains
letting me
about
know.
me for going for a late. I was like, I just ignore it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, just let everyone complain,
Yeah.
and then just
Bye.
because that's their like kind of like that's their norm, right? Complaining is their baseline.
Yeah.
So give them something to complain about. Sure, it's
Yeah.
not gonna go anywhere. Just complain, do what you
Yeah.
need to do, and like it's unfortunate that you think that in a perfect world everyone's gonna come back in 30 minutes. You know what? For me, in a perfect world, they're showing up. They show up.
They
Good
do
enough
their
for
work.
me. They show up. Just as long as you're showing up for work, I'm good.
Like, it's okay to remind people about their breaks,
Exactly.
but not to, like,
By the minute.
always
Yeah.
like watch them
Yes.
by the minute.
By the
Exactly.
minute, because like if it was her, she would be annoyed. So I was kind of very surprised because, you know what I mean. So
Also,
that,
like, does she not have enough work to do that she's able to check the clock?
not
Yeah.
enough, in my opinion, not
Well,
enough.
some people do that. Some people even
Yeah.
watch others take their bathroom break.
Breaks.
Yes.
Messed up.
They come to me. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
This person took this.
Focus on the workplace. I don't
The question should have been, oh, so you're not doing enough work to give time to monitor people going in the washroom?
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about
Yeah.
your workload.
Yes, yeah. What does your workload look like? And I try to.
Do you finish your work?
Yeah, so like that. So that's for me. Like people who think like they set the rules, but then they're the exception of the rules. Like so, I mean, for me that doesn't. The math ain't math.
The math ain't math. What do we
Yeah.
call that kind of person?
A dictator.
You are so right. I think
I was gonna say, I was like, man,
Yeah.
this is how it starts small.
Yeah.
Dictators,
Yeah.
they come about in small acts,
Yes,
right?
yeah, it starts like that.
It
first. You're
starts
so right.
with, surveillance of
Yeah.
other people's breaks.
Yeah.
And then it'll just get worse from there.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's crazy because this is a dictator without actual power.
I pushed for her to be like
Oh, she-
not in that position.
The person has a
The
title
fake
C.
manager.
The fake manager, the
Yeah.
fake micromanager.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Those are the worst kinds.
Yeah.
How about you, Ivan?
Uh,
Sorry, Joe.
I'm pretty sure
Oops. Thank you guys. Bye. Toxic workplace people. There's one that's coming to mind where this is the coworker that knows how to speak very well. So they know how to speak
Ooh.
to.
Eloquently.
They know how to speak eloquently in front of senior leadership.
Okay.
They know how to speak eloquently in a team meeting setting.
Mm-hmm.
So it always sounds like they've done all the work
Yes.
and that they do so well. And then the longer you work with this person, you realize, oh my gosh, they have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, you met her too.
Yeah, I know this person.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember the first time I went into this workplace and I was working with this person, and I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Like, because I was new to the team. And so I was new to the team. We had this team huddle. We do like a weekly team huddle. And then this person would talk about everything that they've done and how they saw. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so good. I really like them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember even thinking, oh, look at how they identified the problem, identified the solution, did a solution, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, so great. 3-4 months into the work, I'm just like, this person is speaking out of their ass. I was like, they have no idea how the systems work.
Yeah.
They really have no idea how to do the actual work. But what they do is because they've gotten senior leadership to trust them so much that when things go wrong, they go like, hey, Miss G, can you take this on?
Yeah.
And then Miss G just takes it on. So
Yeah.
Miss G is always there when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And then they make everybody else look bad because in 1 week, Miss G has turned everything around. Quote unquote, turned everything around.
You're right.
Because then they've picked it up wherever you leave it or wherever somebody's left it. And then they just do the final polishing works. And then they know how to talk about it without talking about any of the issues. The crazy thing is, and I don't know if senior leadership has caught on to this, but like whatever solution Miss G would come up with, it always fails after like 2 months or something. You know, so like something that, for example, there was something that I was working on that took a while. Because the stakeholders that we were working with had a lot of changes they wanted. So they wanted this in the new form, they wanted this new process. There was a couple of different things. There were so many iterations of those forms. Obviously, those forms were necessary for the operations of the team. And so I think it was like a couple of weeks where everyone was looking for the forms. And I'm like, this is what we have. And they're like, no, but that's not updated. No, that's missing this, that's missing this. I'm like, yeah, it's missing because every time I create a new form, the stakeholders would say something else and they'd want new things added onto it. And then the team has comments. So things keep shifting. I was like, there's no final forms yet. And so, understandably so, senior leadership at one point got very frustrated because they were like, why are these forms taking forever? Like, these forms shouldn't take forever. And I'm like, I agree, these forms shouldn't take forever. And that was when Miss G just jumped in and be like, oh, Joe, I'm realizing this is, this is taking a while. Let me just step in and let me help you. In my head, I'm like, whatever, go,
Do whatever you want.
do whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
take it on. And senior leadership was so happy that Miss G was stepping in And I was like, whatever, this has been the bane of my existence. Take on the forms. I don't care about these forms. Miss G took it on, and obviously she just did a quick turnaround. In a couple of days, she had forms finalized and forms were rolled out. And again, everybody was so happy because the forms were all rolled out. As the forms were rolling out, I was like, this is not right, this is not right, this is not what they're talking about. And I was right. In about 2 weeks, the stakeholders all came back and be like, why wasn't this updated? Why was this missing? Why was this missing? And then what does Miss G say? Oh, it's because, the previous person that was working on these forms did not put this in. I'm like, no, you took this on. This is a you thing now. This is not a me problem. But obviously, because I took so long to do it, she took a couple of days to turn it around. Everyone believed her that the mistakes that everybody caught were from when I left them for her. And then she got off scot-free, and everyone still loved how she was doing and loved how great she was.
Oh my gosh.
And this wasn't just happening to me.
Yeah.
So this was happening with the manager, this was happening to the assistant manager, this was happening to somebody else in like the clinical care team. I was just like, I can't believe people were falling for just how great she is at speaking.
Yeah.
And it showed such a huge disconnect with where senior leadership was. Because senior leadership was only aware of what was brought up during the team huddles. Senior leadership wasn't actually aware of what's happening within the team. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad I don't work with Miss G anymore.
Yeah.
But I do remember one thing, like after leaving that workplace, I was like, I need the skill that she has.
Interesting. I was gonna say, what did you learn from that?
I need the skill to be able to communicate what I'm actually doing well. So I don't like the skill of her being able to lie through her teeth.
Right.
To be like, this is what I did. But I think it's such a skill to be able to identify, to be able to speak the way she does, that gets senior leadership and executives to all buy in and really just believing everything she says. Because I think there's something to it's a skill.
For sure, to have like those strong communication skills, to be able to articulate well their ideas and stuff, because
and knowing not just the ideas, but knowing which ideas are important for senior leadership to hear.
Yes.
So knowing very well to be like, because in those team meetings you can tell who's failing and who's not, right? Like who's flailing and who's having a hard time conveying things. Because senior leadership don't care about the details. Right? It's like the details of every little thing that happened. Like they want to know what the problem was, what are we doing about it, where are we going, and how is it solved?
As long as someone's handling it.
Yeah, so they need the overview.
Handling it.
And Miss G was so good at giving that. Like even I was like, oh my gosh, she did so well.
Yes.
And then I remember stepping back from the meeting, talking to the other coworker, and the coworker was like, that's not what happened, right? I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
But the skill to being able to communicate things very well. Because I think I was early on in my career when I was working on Miss G. Because I think if I am able to communicate the way I do now back then, I would not have been in the same place where I was back then. Because I think I would have been able to communicate things well. Even with all the delays, I would have been able to communicate what was happening, where the backlogs were, where the bottlenecks were. Even using things like backlogs and bottlenecks, like circling back. I think if I knew how to communicate well back then, it would not have given Miss G an opportunity to take over what I was doing and then use it to bolster up how well people think she was doing.
Right. Like it's more just for optics for her, right?
Yes, she's very good at the optics. Very
good at that,
Yeah.
Managing your own
impression management.
Your own PR.
Your own PR.
You can only fake it till you make it, but at some point people are gonna read through your PRs.
Oh yeah.
When you said that you kind of picked up something was off by 4 months, I had someone who I was reporting to, I picked it up in 3 weeks. Right? So it really depends on how well,
oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's so true. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I remember, so in this workplace, there's a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
Right? So I was still working there, and there's this other person that came in to replace. They did a reorg of some sort, so they created new positions. So they hired this new person in. The ate girl has a degree in psychology and in organizational psych.
Yeah.
So she's, very intuitive.
Yeah.
The things that took me a couple months to figure out. I remember I was having lunch with this new person, And then she goes, "What's up with Miss G?" And this was like her 3 days into the job.
Oh,
She's like,
wow.
"What's up with Miss G?" I'm like,
What do you
obviously, I didn't want to badmouth anyone at work. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this person is new. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to caution you about certain people, but also you've been here 3 days. Like, I also don't know where you're at, where you stand, and I'm also trying to filter out like how much of what I'm gonna be saying prepares you for the work, and how much of it is me gossiping about my coworkers.
That's
right? Like, I also
true.
don't want to be the toxic person
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
gossiping.
Yeah.
So we were having like I very clearly remember we were having sushi at the mall next to the office. So I remember I was the sushi was like in my chopstick, and she goes, "What's up with Miss G?" I'm like, "Huh?"
Interesting.
I almost dropped my
What
sushi.
does that question even mean?
Yeah, because I was like, that's what I asked her. I was like, what do you mean? What's up with Miss G?
Yeah.
She goes, "Miss G can't be trusted, can she?" I was like, "Excuse you?"
She was able to discern.
She was able to discern. I was like, it took you 3 days to figure out what took me 3 months to figure out. Granted, again, I was in the early days of my career, and this at the
So
girl.
you're naive.
I was a lot more naive. This at the girl.
Yeah.
She works in psychology, and she's been working in the industry. She's dealt with people like her in the past.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, what do you mean? She's like, "Miss G says one thing and acts another way, doesn't she?" I was like, "In 3 days you got that?" She was like, "It's so clear." I was like, "Yeah, it's so clear to me after like months of seeing the back and forth." She's like, "No, it's so clear." And then she outlined it for me. I was like, "Oh my god,
goodness,
She knows.
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows." So that's what I'm agreeing, Andrea, like what you're saying. I think with people who are experienced and who've done the work can tell the people who are faking it right away.
Yeah. And sometimes the problem is, that person who's faking it is in a position of leadership.
Yes.
And I was the one reporting to this person. So it's like, I could go, where else could I go? I could go to HR and tell them, "Hey, you hired someone who's not fit for the role." And or I could go to their manager and say, "Hey, you've hired someone who's not fit for the role, but like, what will that do?"
Exactly.
Right?
And the thing is too, it's like even with this specific example of Miss G, it's like I could go up to, the people above her to be like, she's not doing well. But what credibility do I have?
Exactly.
Like, she's had a track record of all these different things that she was very vocal about, saying, "I've solved this, I've solved this, I've done this." So senior leadership has a track record of all the good things she's done.
Right.
I was coming in clearly, having things that in their minds did not work out well. To now talk about what Miss G is capable or not capable of, they're obviously not going to trust me. They're just going to think I'm the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
And so what do? You don't speak up. Right?
you leave.
You leave, or I don't want to say it, but like you don't speak up, so for fear of losing your job or like being deemed as the toxic one.
Yeah.
So
because it's interesting, because I think one of the reasons the new at the girl was able to clock it right away was because Miss G was in charge of training the new girl. And I think the new girl was like, "There's nothing in the training. Like, she's not training me on anything." But then when push comes to shove, and I've seen this in the past couple of weeks after the new girl started, where people would say something to be like, "Oh, the new girl should have done this, should have done this." And the new girl obviously would be like, "I wasn't aware, I wasn't trained on that." Miss G would pipe up and say, "No, you were trained on that. I trained you on that one. I trained her myself. I trained this." And the girl would just be like, "No, we did not go over." And then Miss G, "No, remember, we did this, there was this. And the girl would just be like, "That wasn't part of the training. Like, that's not." But then no one's going to say anything. Because everyone's like, "Oh, no, Miss G, like, senior leadership likes Miss G, and it's going to be..."
She's untouchable.
But there's a way to kind of call them out on that. If they're just going to push saying that I trained you on this. You can, it's like, "Oh, I was under the impression this, I understood it this way." You know what I mean? So then it gives you kind of give senior leadership, who's part of that meeting, I'm assuming, right? Kind of a sense of where things are at, because it's your time to kind of like, it's your opportunity to kind of speak up. So if they sense some type of like, "Oh, what's going on here?" like, they will then be able to approach Miss G or whoever. And be like, "What's going on here?" to kind of
That's
like
true.
give it an assessment because like that's not a good. So it's your chance to always like speak up. I would
That's
speak
true.
up when you're like, oh, I was like, no, that's not how I understood it. I understood it this way, because you said this and you said that, and I understood it this way. But okay, apologies if that's what you meant because it came across this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then so then they know like, okay, well, what happened? It's like,
I think
what's going on?
she tried.
She tried.
I think she tried. I don't remember the conversation specifically now, but I think she tried. Thinking back to how Miss G would respond, Miss G would have been like, "Oh, okay. So you had a hard time understanding. You should have told me. So we'll do another training. It's okay. I'll train you again."
Yeah.
And then make it look like she's taking it on. And then that's going to be now a point against the new girl. Because eventually, if they go into closed door meetings or whatever, Miss G's going to go, you know, I trained her like 3 different times at this point and she's really not getting it.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure like a lot of people, I've heard this so many times, if they do decide to leave the company, because, you know, like for whatever reason, maybe they can't stand Miss G or whatever, they can, I don't know if they have exit interviews, but I know a lot of people, like, I can't wait to mention this, and this, and I don't know. Maybe hopefully that's your chance to kind of speak up on that.
Hopefully. Yeah, so that's my example. Of a
Interesting.
toxic
Interesting.
coworker.
Imagine if all our examples are in one person.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
There's a special place in
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I can't
for this
imagine.
There's a
person.
special place somewhere. But it's interesting because I think it's very clear that we're all talking about very specific people,
Yeah.
but that somehow we all related to it.
Yeah.
And that you might not have met Miss G and you might not have worked with Miss G, but you've clearly worked with someone who's done some of the things that Miss G
Yes.
has
Oh,
done.
100%. Yes.
Yes.
Like all the
Oh,
examples
yes.
from Atta, Joe, from Atta staff,
Yeah.
all of them have been people I've worked with,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
That's true. It's very interesting because as I was listening to all your stories, I have a very specific person in mind. And I'm just like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, so and so has done that.
Yeah.
So can we say in every office there's that one toxic person?
At least one.
At least. Or,
For
you know,
sure.
And right,
rolled
and,
into one.
And let's like reiterate, we are not any of them, right?
We are not toxic.
Obviously not us. Never.
Oh my
I'm a
God.
policy-abiding employee.
And I'm the one who doesn't make new policies for other people that I don't follow. And I'm so busy to be watching people's brains.
That's very funny.
Oh boy.
So, what do we do when we meet these coworkers? What's one thing we can tell people who are listening and who've met the same person that doesn't want to learn the new system, or the person that does not have empathy, or the person that's an entitled dictator that doesn't really have a power, or the person who's like Miss G? What do you do once you identify somebody at work that has these traits or is this person?
Keep your distance.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Keep your distance. You know, obviously it's a workplace. You will always cross each other's path.
Yeah.
But as much as possible, you know, just keep your distance. Don't get involved in any of the
Yeah.
office drama.
Yes.
They love, you know, doing all that, but
Yeah.
just don't get involved. Ignore if you can.
Yes, yeah.
Don't pay any attention. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
For me, collect evidence.
Wow.
Document.
Sounds like this is coming from experience.
Yes.
No, it's true. Like especially in my example, where a lot of these meanness or lack of empathy come from emails, right? So those are evidences that you could use against them.
It's in black
That's
and
true.
white.
Yeah. So in my case, what I've done is, well, my manager then has asked me, Andrea, can you forward all those emails where he was not nice to you? He's very aggressive. The way he speaks to you is unprofessional. I'm like, okay, forward. And then your manager can gauge like how this person has been unprofessional, and you could use that against them, right? And next thing is kill them with kindness.
I was like, where is she going? I was like, cut the mics.
I think for me, because there was a time when I worked on site. So I saw this person in on site, and they are not like they're not the same as they were in their emails. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be friends with this person, but like gives me the usual hi, hello, how's it going? But really, all you want to do is do this, but we're not gonna do that. So in a
We're
way,
not.
we're not.
Imagine nyo na lang kung ano yung inaction niya. Basta we're not doing it.
We're not doing that. So it's just like it's like when you see them in person, it's kind of okay. You show your best self, but I've already made a judgment against this person, right? And to reiterate what Ate Jo said, keep your distance. If there's any opportunity to avoid this person, avoid them.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna stir up so much anger on your end, and this person might say something to you finally in person that you're not gonna like. So just keep your distance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right? We do 100% of our work, or for some people, 99.9%.
95 to 100 is fine.
80% even.
80.
We do the best we can, and really anything beyond that, like it's our choice. It's our choice to be with this person. It's our choice to be angry with this person. It's our choice. So that's it on my end.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's what Joe said of like avoid.
Yeah.
But more specifically, it's I learned to filter myself when I'm interacting with somebody like Miss G. Knowing that everything I say can be used against me, right? Like knowing that, raising concerns to her could potentially escalate into, Joe doesn't know how to do his job.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's learning then to be like, okay, there are people at work that I actually cannot trust.
Yes.
Like I'm not going to be going out of my way to fight you or to do anything against you, but I am going to go out of my way to make sure that our paths don't intersect as much as I could help it. Right? Like if Miss G had a concern about a project, I was just like, oh yeah, it's going, it's going as planned. Things are moving along. Yeah. How are your things? Like try to redirect. Don't say too much. Don't be too honest.
Be mindful.
Be mindful of what I share. Like obviously I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh yeah, that's done. Oh yeah, I've done this. Oh yeah, I've done this. But I'm not gonna be like explaining every single struggle that I'm going through.
Yeah.
Or every single roadblock that I'm hitting, because then clearly Miss G is taking notes on everybody and then using it against everybody.
Yeah.
So it's that of like, for me, it's specifically distancing myself and then filtering what I actually share.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping that guard up.
Yeah, keeping that guard up. Yeah.
I guess for me, it's so hard when you come across, especially when you see those traits with people that you click with. Friends with, right? So you can't really know. You can't really distance yourself or put your guard up or anything like that. I would say I guess I obviously would try to turn it into something positive and that kind of simmer them down. I don't know, and then I just don't add fuel to it, whatever that is. I just don't because like any virus, it can just keep growing and spreading and all that. So I just try to be immune to that and kind of be the boring person when they vent to me. Or when I see them act a certain way in meetings, I just don't bring it up. Let's say people discuss it, whatever. Let's say discuss whatever type of behavior like Miss G has had. I just don't add to it. I just don't add to it.
You let it stop with you.
I let it stop with me. Yeah, I let it stop with me, and then just don't do much with the information. I don't share it or like do anything. I'm just like okay, I just don't do much. I'm a boring person.
Sometimes you have to be boring at work.
Just be boring.
Just be boring.
Let me just write that in my journal. Just
be boring. So then they don't come to you for other things.
No, it's true.
It's true. Just be boring and as well like I don't know what else to do. Like it's just most of the time too. I would say my weapon would be acting dumb.
Ooh.
Yeah, I always act dumb. Or maybe I am dumb. I don't know. that
Next episode. Are you dumb?
The realization.
Oh my gosh.
It was like,
I think it comes out
Because
no, but for real, like I just like sometimes act dumb and a lot of things, and then that's what helps.
No, I think that's true. I think one thing that what I'm learning from as we're talking, is that I think Joe, you mentioned this when we talked about toxic workplaces last week too, where we do have a choice to either stop that toxicity or spread it, right? Like even if we're not in managerial roles or leadership roles where we can change the culture, by just doing what you're saying, Steph, right? Just, if somebody starts gossiping towards you, you either stop them, or if you can't stop them, and you just like, okay. You listen to them and then don't spread it.
Yeah.
Right? And then so the story stops with you. Or like if people are venting and then you don't add fuel to the fire, be like, oh yeah, I can't believe si ganito talaga, ganyan. Like if you're just like, okay. Oh, talaga? Oh really? I'm just like, I ganon.
it's so hard. It's so hard to do that because it's like,
as Filipinos.
okay, agree or disagree with me. Gossip is building community. Right? No, right?
It's a way to connect with people.
I notice how at work too.
Yeah.
People vent to me, and I'm like, should I respond to this that I agree with them or disagree with them? And like at my workplace, there's literally like these two groups that are saying one thing to this group, and then these groups saying one thing to this group. And I'm like, I don't know who to believe, but the thing is, both groups are nice to me.
Yes, yeah.
So I need to be Switzerland and be like, yes.
I think it's along the lines of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
And there's nothing that brings you together than joint trauma.
110%.
No, it's just
That's why there's a community building aspect.
Isn't it true? Gossip is
bonding, I tell
community
you.
The
building.
trauma bonding.
Just be neutral.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
I really try my best to do that at work.
Me too. Because lately I've been trying to switch because I would be also taking a side. I'm more inclined to take a side. But now lately I'm just trying to be more neutral because I realize being neutral gives me peace. Whereas if you try to take one side, I just feel like you then now are robbed of that peace because you are now with them in this.
You're not part of the problem.
Yeah, when it was their problem to begin with, I'm like, wait, now it's our problem.
Don't drag me into this.
Don't drag me into this. What's going on?
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's definitely a choice and a struggle.
Yeah.
To not be the toxic person, but to also not let the toxicity spread after it's gone through you. So ayun guys.
Yeah.
That's our episode for today, but there's gonna be part 2 because I think just as when we talked about last week, we talked about some good things and bad things about the workplace. Next episode, we'll be talking about some green flag coworkers.
The wonderful coworkers.
Yeah.
We'll be describing ourselves.
I'm wonderful.
How we are such beacons of light.
I don't think we have enough time for that.
We'll do one episode each.
Funny.
Oh my gosh. No. Yeah.
So watch out for that.
Watch out for that. And also, if you related to anything we talked about, we're so sorry for you. We're sorry you've met these coworkers, but we hope that some of the stories that we've shared have helped you gain a different perspective on how to interact with these coworkers. And we'd love to hear your stories. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and then comment on Spotify, because I believe you can do comments on Spotify now, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Let us know which of these coworkers you've met, and if you have your own version of coworkers that have really made workplace toxic for you.
Yes. And remember, guys, at the end of the day, protect your peace.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So again, thank you, Andrea. Thank you,
Thank you.
Steph.
Thank you for having us.
We enjoyed your insight into things. It's always nice to have more people joining in to the conversation.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And thanks for listening, everybody. This is Title the Podcast with Joe.
And Joe.
Bye.